Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the other day, the UDA party held their National Governing Council meeting, NGC, at State House in Nairobi. And in our first reaction, we concentrated on how the president is breaking the law to conduct a private UDA party activities inside a state property, a state institution. But there was a bigger message that I think it is good we look up to unto that statement and we give our views on the same. What has come out is that in the UDA NGC, the president seemingly in one way or another prepared his deputy Kithure Kindiki's mind for anything going forward when it comes to the coalitional arrangement that he is going to have with other political parties. His message is clear and home. He literally communicated to Kithure Kindiki. There were questions that were raised in that meeting as far as the negotiation that they have had and what they're going to have going forward. What is it in those negotiations for the UDA party? There are people who ask, like Honorable Mungatana and the other leaders, that so far, where has the negotiations reached? And what is in these negotiations? The president answered this question. And that question provided an opportunity for him to communicate directly to Kithure Kindiki. The conclusion is simple. Kindiki is not guaranteed to be William Ruto's running mate in 2027. That is the message. It is not guaranteed. What has been guaranteed in the negotiation that UDA has had with the other political parties, it is ODM. What is guaranteed is the presidential candidate. UDA is guaranteed they will produce a presidential candidate. That's why the president, in his response, is telling Mungatana, there's no any other bigger position that you can think of about other than the president. So what is assured of is that UDA will be given a position to produce a presidential candidate in 2027. Mesikia hayo? So first of all, listen to the president's statement. Then we'll dig deeper to understand which way UDA is heading to and how they're going to work towards that.
Starting with Mungatana, I want to tell Mungatana that with all the negotiations that have gone on so far, the president is still in UDA. Just for your information. I don't think there is any bigger position that you can think about than that of president. And we have made sure that we have balanced all the other negotiations, all the other positions appropriately. There will be give and take. In any negotiation, there is give and take. But as you have said, we are going to be careful to make sure that that is win-win.
Now, I want us to continue with the panel discussion, but before we go into that, I have a quick and humble request for those who are watching the channel and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to our discussion. Now, the president is very clear. In any negotiations, there is a give and a take. To make sure that it is a win-win situation. Now, I add on that top according to your numbers. Look here. ODM is coming with more than 80 members of parliament. About 80. Ruto is coming with about 100 members of parliament. Look at that. Then they have to sit down and agree working together. Forget about the other small parts here, like Ford Kenya and the rest. How do you convince ODM that you want to produce a presidential candidate, you want to produce a running mate, you want to produce a prime CS, and you want to go into negotiation with them? You want to maintain the Speaker of the National Assembly. How can it work? It is not possible. And Ruto is trying to balance this politics. The only man I know, he might be sure of his position, and I will tell you why, it is Musalia Mudavadi. He can remain na ile nafasi, which is actually illegal, the prime CS. Another baki na hiyo. Lakini hii ingine, kuna uwezekano mkubwa ODM is demanding for a position of a running mate. Nothing short of that in this arrangement. That wakuwe na ofisi yenye at least watu wao wanaweza enda kuona deputy. Mbona? Vile Mudavadi ako na ofisi yenye watu wake wataenda kumuona, na vile president ako na ofisi yake. Wachana na ya CS. The president can fire CS directly. Though hata hii Mudavadi he can fire him directly. The other one inahitaji impeachment. Unfortunately, Gachagwa did not have his own political party. So his impeachment was very easy. So when you look at that, this is what the president has to balance. Am I going to get it right in the ODM that I give them a running mate? A running mate is a surety of Luo Nyanza's support. It is a surety, in his view, of Luos in Nairobi, in Mombasa, and elsewhere. That is the vast vote that is looking for. The other vote that is looking for, and that's why I say the Musalia Mudavadi's position can be guaranteed, is for William Ruto to continue enjoying the support of ODM, of Raila Odinga's, away from Nyanza region. You come to Western region. Ile support Raila amekuwa akipata Nyanza ni karibu almost equal to that he has been getting from the Luyas. How do you bring these Luyas on the table in this arrangement? You need a Luya also to be sitting there. Who is this Luya? Musalia Mudavadi. In that way, in Ruto's views, he will be locking the ODM support on his side. Aluya, Aluo. Where is Kindiki? He's looking at this in such a manner that it is not guaranteed to get the Mount Kenya region votes. That yes, he can have 1 million votes or 2 million. But what about if he lock very well ODM strongholds? It comes with 3 to 4 million votes. That is the calculation that Ruto is trying to do here. And with that, the conclusion of this mathematics, it is going to leave Kithure Kindiki outside. There can be a repeat of what Kibaki went through under the regime of Moi. From a vice president to a minister, Kindiki can be taken back to the interior ministry, which is powerful, of course, or defense, but maybe interior. He can be convinced to go back to interior. But it will depend how many elected members of parliament Kindiki is coming with, or Ruto is able to manage to have them back from Mount Kenya on his side. And beside that, what Ruto understands is that Mount Kenya have history. Their members of parliament, most of them are always one term. Ukiona mwenye ameenda term 2-3 anafanya kazi kabisa. Kama kina Kimani Ichung'wah, Ndindi Nyoro. Hao wanafanya kazi ndio warudie. But Mount Kenya has a reputation of having this political position for one term. Unaserve to one term mwingine. So it is not guaranteed that if you have elected leaders, you will win. No. He knows that. So the message here is that a win-win situation means there is what you give and take. So they are taking the presidential position. They are giving what? Running mate to ODM. Because ODM comes with numbers. Kindiki kuna uwezekano mkubwa ataachwa kwa mataa in this arrangement. I have not said that this arrangement will make Ruto to win. But that is his calculation for winning the 2027 general election. I don't know your views. But please let us know in the comment section so that we can continue with our discussion. Thank you so much and see you in our next video.